Death has come to your little town, Sheriff.
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
What's in the box? Say hello to my little friend! Me the money!
Go ahead. Make my day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of Good Real Hunting, our movie channel. I am the Brett Stewart, and this is my pal, the boss, Brad. Brad, how are you doing, buddy?
I am doing swell. How you doing, Bert?
I am doing, he calls me Bert. But pretty much what we want to do with this very first episode, which if you haven't seen our episode zero pretty much again explains of what you can expect from our channel. And we answered a couple of questions for some of our newcomer followers, which again, we are so appreciative. And for today's episode, it's going to be an open discussion, and we have decided we are going to discuss and give out some suggestions or some ideas, our personal ideas for Scream 5.
Let's do it.
Absolutely. So, Brad, I'm going to let you start off first. What is your first impression of when they announced Scream 5?
Well, I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic, I would say. I'm excited about it nonetheless. I mean, more Scream is always a good thing. I'm a big fan of the Scream franchise. I think it's pretty awesome. So I'm excited about it. Obviously Wes Craven's no longer with us, so that makes things a little bit more sketchy, to say the least. I don't know. Obviously it's not going to have that same feel to it, I don't think. But you know, the cast is coming back. The big four. The big three of the cast, and they're coming back, and I'm pretty excited about it. But you know, I'm curious to see where it's going to go without Wes Craven.
Yeah, and I'm with you too. Wes Craven, just a hero to the horror community of our time. To me, probably my all-time favorite horror movie director, because he just has such a brilliant mind, and he could just genuinely scare you. And the perfect example of that is Nightmare on Elm Street, which we will tackle that franchise later in the future. But what he did with Scream, which I'll go ahead and throw this out there, not only is Scream my all-time favorite horror movie franchise, but is also my all-time favorite scary movie is Scream. Because that was the first one I watched, and I actually really connected with a lot of the characters with the high school experience and them just being kids, and just where they go from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie is just such a huge transition of just to their personality, and I can actually just relate to that. So I'm excited when they announced Scream 5, which again, I know without Wes Craven it's going to be very awkward, but I'm telling you, just the day of era we living in now in movies, I think is a okay time to have a movie without Wes Craven. We're going to have just brilliant new ideas, new characters, and again with the big three coming back, I'm just super, super excited about it.
Same. Can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and go through the newer additions of the casting role, and if there's any thought you want to add to it, we'll tackle that on. So some of the new casts we have are Mikey Madison, which I've never really heard her before. But again, a lot of these I haven't really heard of before either. But again, I'm just super excited because to me, new is better, especially for a franchise I love. And we also have Jasmine Savoy Brown, Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega, Jack Quaid, Dylan Minette, which I've heard of him. That's probably the one I'm most excited for, just to see what they kind of do with his character. We also have Mason Goodling, and finally known to the horror community, Kyle Gallner, which he has been in Jennifer's Body, the remake of The Nightmare on Elm Street. So I'm excited to see what he does in Scream 5. And some of the callback characters, too, with Marley Shelton. She is coming back to reprise her role as Judy Hicks. And of course, we got the big three of David Arquette coming back as Dewey, Courtney Cox coming back as Gail, and of course, we are bringing back, and it was previously announced a couple of days ago, Sydney Prescott, played by Neve Campbell, just such an important final girl in the horror movie genre. So I'm so excited about it. Any thoughts about the cast?
Yeah, I'm not so excited about the Judy Hicks, but going back to the that fella that was from the Friday the 13th remake. Which character was he in the Friday the 13th?
You mean the Nightmare on Elm Street?
Sorry, yes, Nightmare on Elm Street. Which character was he?
That is Kyle Gallner.
Who did he play in the Nightmare movie? Do you know off the top of your head?
He was the final guy along with that final girl at the very end of the movie, I believe.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've seen the remake, but from my memory, I think that's correct. And if we're wrong, just in the comments section, let us know, and we'll fix that mistake.
Yeah, we're liable to be wrong a few times, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, or we'll try our very best. So.
Overall, I think the cast is fine. Like you said, I don't know a lot of the newcomers, but I'm excited to have some new characters, and hopefully they can bring something to the story that we haven't seen before. And obviously having David Arquette back and Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell is going to be phenomenal. They're always fun to watch. Yeah, it'd be hard to do a successful Scream movie without them. At least without a couple of them. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the cast, and I can't wait to see what they do with it.
Yeah, and the director of Scream 5 is going to be Tyler Gillett and Matt Bettinelli, and I'm pretty sure are those the guys that did Ready or Not?
If it is, I'm jacked. Yes, I believe that's actually accurate.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yes, I believe that's accurate because I remember that being a big deal. Now, have they done? I don't know if you've looked, but have they done anything other than Ready or Not in their arsenal?
According to Letterboxd, they have also, or at least Matt Bettinelli did VHS.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm not familiar with that one, but I do see that one get tossed around a lot on Killer Flicks.
VHS is pretty good. It's a found footage flick, but it's pretty creepy, dude. You got to see that one if you haven't seen it.
Man, dude, you know me, I can't do creepy. Like I watched Mandy today, and again, we'll do a whole thing on Mandy because that.
You should watch VHS though. You might get a little freaked out. I think it's a good little flick. It's an anthology thing. I think there's 5 little stories in it. That's beside the point, but check out Mandy.
All right, be sure to do that. So, what we're going to want to say what?
Sorry, VHS, not Mandy.
Yeah, which again we'll do both. And what we are planning to do today with Scream 5, we're just going to suggest some of the our expectations of what we would like to see it. These are not like for certain or come close to what they are going to do. This is just our own personal preference, and we're just going to go from there. Which I'll go ahead and start with the big one, and I'm pretty sure that every Scream fan can easily agree with me on this. Can we please bring back Kirby? Can we bring back Kirby?
She was good, but I could live without her.
No. We cannot live without her. Kirby, who is played by Hayden Pettinetti, which I'm terrible with names.
Did she die though?
That's what they want you to think, but they never discovered the body, so they can easily bring her back.
How did she die in the movie? It's been a while since I've seen Scream 4.
Okay, and I'm going to do quick spoiler alert. The spoiler is, man, why are you doing this to me? She was trying to save, gosh, I can't believe you're putting me on the spot already.
Well, it's no big deal. No big deal.
Oh,
I was just curious if you remember.
It's a big deal to me because I want her back. Okay. There was she was going to save Charlie, and the killer calls her and like tests her and
I
gives her
remember
like
that.
these
Yeah,
questions, and she's answering all these freaking questions about remakes. I'm pretty sure it was about remakes,
it
and
was.
that's
Yeah, I
what
remember
made me
that.
fall in love with the character. That was the scene. I was like, oh yes, I love her. I hope they do great things with her. Which what happened next? After the killer's like hangs up on her, she goes to save Charlie, and what does frickin' Charlie do? He stabs her.
You're almost there. Just hang tight.
Irby, this is making a move.
In the stomach, the chest,
In
where she
in
stabbed.
the damn stomach, like
Okay.
like I would think more to the side, and she just lays there, just slowly dying. But it's not necessarily because, gosh almighty, Dewey got stabbed like hundreds of
That's
times in
true. That's
Scream
yeah.
too,
She could totally
so
come back. So
she
that's
could
that's a
easily come.
survivable wound. That's a survivable wound for sure. And she was a very fine character, and I would not mind to see her back. If it depending on the kill, I'd have to go back and rewatch it. But depending on the kill, if it's not far fetched, I wouldn't mind to have her back. If it is, then I mean, if she got her freaking head chopped off or something crazy, then it's not necessary to bring her back. But if she's a good character. I'd like to see her back.
I
If
will
it's feasible.
with my second like point, or my second big one of it, it's going to also involve her. But before I get to that, what's one of the big things you expect from this movie, or if that you would hope you would like to see?
So the main thing I'd like to see is to go back to the tone of the original and the sequel, the original sequel, the second one. Those are my favorite two of the franchise. Obviously, I think most people would agree with that. So I would like to see it go back to that, to the roots, essentially. And I thought the fourth one, although it was my third favorite in the franchise, I thought it went a little extra on the comedy side of things at times.
Mhm.
With the when the two cops died outside the house, it was like, it was kind of spoofy and
Gosh,
weird and
yeah. Anthony
uh,
Anderson and Adam Brody.
which they were fine characters in the movie. But it got it was a little funky, which is fine. But I would like to go back more towards horror and make it more scary again,
Hmm.
personally.
Yeah, I agree. Scream definitely does need to be scary again because, like as you said, the fourth one, and I would even say the third one, they got a little bit silly on the
Yeah,
comedy.
the third one was really weird. They and don't get me wrong. I mean, even the original is kind of it's got comedy elements to it. That's a part of the roots of the franchise that's woven into it. But
Yeah, but it
um,
wasn't like forced, though.
it
It
wasn't forced. It
it
really
came
flowed. Yeah,
casual and
yeah,
still creepy.
it really flowed. But it was still scary. It was still that opening segment of the original Scream was one of the scariest openings of any horror flick ever,
Oh,
I think.
absolutely.
So I would like to go back to that, but still be self-aware, but not to the point where you're forcing comedy on the audience.
Yeah, exactly. And since I would say let's just do like this, kind of like a snake style. So, what would be your second expectation?
Okay, so the next thing I would like to do, is it like you want to do like an expectation or something I would like to do with the
Uh,
movie, or are we still talking?
just what's to your like what comes to your mind? Just go ahead and throw it out there.
So I would like to see it, and it might be weird. It might be weird, but I would like to see it come out of. I would like to see it take on a new setting, come out of Woodsboro. They've been to Woodsboro for what, four movies now? They were there for, well, I guess in the third one they went to
Hmm.
California. So maybe I would definitely like it to be somewhere else. I would like it to be. It seems to me, and
But
yeah,
then they in the third one they go to Hollywood.
they did. Yeah, they did go to Hollywood in the third one. But it seems to me in all of the movies, nobody's really progressed with their lives outside of maybe David Arquette and Courtney Cox. They kind of developed a relationship, but that was hinted at in the first one.
Hmm.
I would like to see them kind of move on with their lives. Maybe Nev Campbell's married, or maybe she's doing something not related. I would just like to see something a little bit different.
Right.
aside from her being, just there to kick Ghostface ass and stuff.
Yeah, because wasn't she the author in the fourth one, and that's what made Courtney Cox's character Gail very jealous of her in that fourth one.
It was, yes, and I mean, career wise, she's doing fine, but I would just think I would like to see something. It seems like their characters are always kind of the same. They haven't really um, developed per se since the first one until now. They've matured a little bit, sure, but I would like to see them further developed and kind of farther on in their lives and to a point where it kind of makes sense.
Hmm.
In a nutshell.
Yeah, and I'll play along with that, or sort of with that, but one of my big ones of kind of like what I would like to see in the story, and this is pretty much like the big like argument or just kind of like battle of just the ideas thrown around a lot. But I would like to have one of the big three die, or one or two of the big three die. I think it's time, and especially with Scream Five as the time that it's coming out, I feel like they're going to plan on doing more. So like a Scream 5, 6, and 7. I feel like that's going to be like their end game of what they would like to do. And I feel like if you really want to kick that off, you have to kill off like one or two of the big three because I think it's time. I think we need to develop the newer characters that will carry it along within the next couple of franchises.
Yes, I agree totally with that.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and say the two I feel like should die. Um, the first one I would like to die is Gale. I feel like again, like ain't the whole Scream like atmosphere being you're never safe, so anybody can die. Like shoot, Drew Barrymore when she was the very first step in Scream, nobody saw that coming.
What if Gail died in like the first 5 minutes of the movie?
See, that's what I was getting ready to mention. Like, she'd be like that Drew Barrymore of that era within the new era.
Yeah.
And
That would really, I think that would really reset the tone and get things kind of going in the right direction again. That
yeah,
would that would
it's
throw everybody, get everybody's, it wouldn't be expected at all.
yeah, exactly. And you know how like Dewey's always kind of like the goofy character, like tries to be like all serious.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if you see David Arquette lately, but he is like jacked, like been like working out and all that. And I would love to see like when Gail dies, we get like rid of the silly Dewey. We get this like serious, focused Dewey who all he cares about doing is kind of like tracking down the killer and
I
getting
like that.
revenge on Gale. I
It'd be
feel
like,
like that would be a nice character like development for Dewey. To get
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
You imagine freaking Courtney dies in the beginning and it's just it freaking turns into a revenge flick for freaking Dewey, man. That
yeah,
would be
because we haven't
intense.
really had a revenge flick in the Scream franchise, really.
Yeah, that would make it a little bit more personal. I think that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And then the second person I would like to die, and this might be very, very controversial, Sidney Prescott, Nev Campbell. I think it's time. She has given everything to the franchise we want out of her. And I know lots and lots of people love her. I love her too. She's in my top 5 of Final Girls. But I feel like it's time for her to pass the torch, which it goes back to my first want of the movie of bringing Kirby back. I think Kirby's character is exactly like the perfect person for Nev Campbell or the Sidney Prescott character to pass the torch to carry on the newer like I would say the new trilogy of the franchise. What do you think about that?
I think that's good. Yeah, I mean, I definitely would like to see it kind of passed off. Some as much as I enjoy watching the big three and the Scream movies, and it would be hard to do it without them. At least when you talk, box office and things like that. But if you made it really good and you put in some really good characters, Kirby was a pretty good example. Again, it goes back to how severe her death was in the fourth one, but.
Mhm.
If she could come back and kind of take over one of the main character spots, yeah, she would be pretty strong and we'll see what these new people look like and see how it goes. But if they could make really good characters and they could freaking have some people you engage with, then yeah, I totally think it would be time to pass the torch on to some of those other guys. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, I think that would be good.
Yeah, like you just said it right there. Like I feel like if it's not Kirby, that's fine. If you could do it to one of the newer characters, it's time to pass the torch. And again, I'm not sure how they can do that. That's why like I'm excited for when they do the first trailer, which I know the movie's going to come out in 2022, which
It's a long time.
I don't think I don't think I can wait. Which let's go ahead and throw that out there. It's going to be coming out in January, which for most people of the horror genre, the fans are scared because January is normally known for the trash Halloween movie or horror movie.
Fantasy Island.
No, Fantasy Island actually came out in February. Do not.
I stand corrected.
Yeah,
Slender Man.
The Grudge was the one that came out this January.
Yeah, I didn't even watch that. It looked like garbage, but that's
Uh,
beside the point.
Which, no, trust me, I haven't seen it either. But the trailer just did absolutely nothing, and just listening to other people's reviews of the movie proved the point right. Of just stay away from that movie.
Yeah, with Slender Man 2 was another one, I think.
Yeah, and I'm trying to. And there's one of the kids that played in Stranger Things, like the curly head one. I can't remember the name.
Oh,
But
yeah. I
yeah,
know.
he was in a January movie I think came out this year. I just forgot the name of it on the top of my head, but yeah, that was a bad one too.
No thanks.
So,
But
so
yeah, beside the point. Little tangent there, but yeah, I pick up what you're putting down.
yeah, like are you concerned with that January like curse, or do you think Scream's going to be okay?
No, I'm not worried about that per se. I think that's kind of just. I mean, bad movies end up there, but I don't think they purposely make a movie to put up, to put it in January. I mean, they haven't even started production. They haven't. They're probably in. I don't know if the scripts have been made at this point. I haven't. I need to do a little bit more research, but yeah. I mean, I don't think that has any indication on the quality of the film at this point.
Yeah. So, do you have another idea, or am I? Oh, actually, I'm going. We're doing the snake style draft here.
Snake it up.
Snake it up, fancy football wise. Let's see here, the third thing. The third thing. I I would like to see the two killer thing being brought back too, like where there's always two killers. Because again, as you said before, you want to go back to the original Scream
Of course, yeah.
and that one was having the two killers, which again during that time has never been done before. Like it's just like you didn't see it coming the first time you watch it, which of course some people are like, well, I saw it coming. I'm like, yeah, good for you. But when I watched it, I did not see it coming. Again, like I'm just a sucker. Like the second time I watched it, I'm like, oh, the signs are there. But overall, like I love the two killer, and I just love the whole like who done it aspect. And if they can just like do like certain directions with that who done it aspect, and just to be different was also trying to respect the original. I think that would be a really great thing to do. But as to like who the killer's going to be out that cast, I have no clue. But again, that's the best part. Like it's good to not to know, So
I agree.
like,
Yeah.
But yeah. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with that. The two killer thing always works, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say there's any need to force it. But it's worked better. They've done it in the first one, the second one, and they did it in the fourth one too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
They did do in the
Okay.
fourth one.
The third one they did not, and that was the only one. I think two works, sometimes better than one. But again, that would kind of be expected at this point. And I think Scream, the best when it's at its best, it's when they're doing things that aren't expected. So, with it being 3 out of 4 movies, I think you would totally. It wouldn't be a shock at this point to have two killers back. Although, I mean, you could totally do it. I think it would be fine either way. It just kind of depends on the characters and what they're going for.
Yeah, like the attitude of the characters and like their styles and what they're being asked to do.
Yeah, let me throw something back at you regarding the killer. What kind of do you have any ideas as far as the motivation? A motive per se?
Ouch, man. That's tough because they almost pretty much do like every single one that you can like think of because again, spoiler alerts. The killers from the original Scream were Billy and Stu, which I want to get to Stu, but I want to get to your question first. Billy's motivation was that his dad left their family just to get with Mrs. Prescott,
Correct.
and
Yeah.
Billy blames Sydney's mom for that. And then the second reason, again, spoiler alert, the second killer was Billy's mom, which her motivation was to get revenge on Sydney for killing Billy. And then the third one, which I really don't want to talk about because to me it was just the laziest one, spoiler alert, was Sidney Prescott's brother.
So forced.
Yeah, so forced, so unnecessary.
Yeah.
And just like again, like I appreciate them trying to tie everything together from like the 1 and 2, but again, as you say, it was forced. Nobody really was buying into it. Which the final act of that movie was great, but just like how they got there was just like, I don't know. And then the fourth one, spoiler, the first killer was Charlie, and then the second killer wasn't it like it was Emma Roberts' character? Wasn't that her like cousin or nephew?
It was I think it was a cousin.
Yeah, and all she really wanted to do was just be the next Sidney Prescott, which I thought that was a really interesting idea, and just during the time of that movie's release, I could see that being a very great idea on how to get popular and all that. It's sick and twisted for sure, but again, that's what what should be about is just being sick and twisted.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
You finished
Go
your
to your
statement
fifth.
there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to finish your question with the fifth one. I would actually just go out of the box and just have. See, I don't want. I want to say copycat, but like you really don't want to because again, you want to do like a fresh idea. I would
Yeah.
just say just someone, obviously not a family member or just somebody that knows Sydney. I would say maybe like a super fan that just wants to recreate everything. But from what I've heard, it's supposed to be one of the newer characters. Like the killer kills someone that they know and that they were going back to Woodsboro to figure it out. I think that's what I heard. I could be wrong about that, but just for my idea, I would like to be somebody totally like not involved with Sidney Prescott's character, be a complete stranger, and just to do it, just they're just like kind of like one of those like super fans, like the ones that get so attachy and send them the love notes and just all that weird stuff. I feel like that could be an interesting discussion to have.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool. That wouldn't
Yeah,
be bad.
what do you think about that?
So I thought I had a long time ago. This is back before Scream 4 came out. This is when I was watching the original trilogy kind of as a kid and at least the first couple movies. I always thought it'd be kind of cool. At the time, it would have been Cotton Weary's brother or something like that. He comes back as because Sidney got his brother all roped into all this stuff, even though he was innocent, and he ended up dying because of it. And I think that would kind of that would make sense. At this point, his brother probably kind of old, but he could probably still do it. But maybe he had a son or something like that, or a nephew, or something like that. I think that would be kind of unique because I really liked the Cotton character. I thought he was a pretty good addition to the franchise. So it'd be kind of cool to bring his name back at least, and
Yeah, they had kind of like have like a little like homage like to the past Screams too. Kind of like how
kind of bring it
Halloween
back.
2018 did.
Bring it back to the original because I think, I think the motivation would be there because, like Cotton didn't really have anything to do with anything. I mean, and he got pulled into the whole thing, and then, like I said in the third one, spoiler alert, as Bert would say, in the third one he would freaking, he ended up dying because he was just a part of it. He ended up being friends with Sydney, and it did cost him his life. So I think that would be a pretty good idea. Even still, I think it would still work. Just some kind of relative of his, brother, kid, something like that, son, daughter, whatever. I I think that would be good. And at the end of the day, as long as it's something that you're not really expecting, then I think it's a win.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I that would be cool to bring back Cotton, or at least just mention him, because he did play a pivotal role in the first three Scream movies, of just being involved with just the whole story of Mrs. Prescott, Maureen Prescott, actually. So, but yeah, let's talk about Matthew Lillard as Stu, because a
Oh
lot of
boy.
people want him to come back
He
because
is
they're like,
dead, dude.
yeah, I would think that too. But again, Kirby could be dead, so Stu can easily survive that injury.
Hey, but
Like, didn't
Stu,
they? I
hold
even
on a second.
actually
Hold on.
saw.
Do you remember how freaking heavy those TVs were back in the day?
Yeah.
They were freaking heavy, man. He got that crush on his head after he was feeling woozy here. So I mean, yeah, he's a goner, man. I know the third. I think the plan in the third one was really originally to bring him back, but I would like to just. He was freaking dead, man. He got a freaking TV crushed on his face.
Oh man, but wait, there's more, and this one's a stinker, baby. But seriously, yeah, like the TV sets were heavy, so he can easily die too. But I'm pretty sure I can't remember the TV show, and I actually saw this somewhere where they actually experimented on, like, they actually dropped the TV on like a replica dummy skeleton with like the skin and everything.
Was it
So fair.
MythBusters?
I want to. It's not MythBusters, but it's a show certainly like that. And
Cool.
they actually did the test, and they actually concluded that you can survive such an injury.
He got
It's
he
not.
got
It's
cut
not.
pretty
It's
deep
not
though, man.
likely.
Freaking yammed in there.
But wouldn't that be great, though, if he came back as the killer in the fifth one?
I mean, it'd be cool, but it would be so
Because he
forced.
had the motivation.
He'd be coming back for the sake of coming back. It would be, I mean, he does have the motivation, and I loved him as a character, man. I really did. And it would be cool to see him again. I do have to admit that. But at the end of the day, it would be fan service for sure. But I think just because, like, I think he died. He pretty clearly died in the first one, and then the second. I think even Nev mentioned something about him dying. Like Billy and Stu are dead, but she may have just said Billy. I don't remember. But either way, um,
Oh,
yeah,
Bill's definitely dead. I'll tell you that for sure.
yeah, he came back there for a second, but then he died. Uh,
Because they always come back for one last scare.
final scare. Yeah. I mean, look. I would love to see freaking Stu come back. I would, because he was the best. He was one of the best parts of the first movie. He was highly entertaining. But again, it's kind of just making sense of it, Kind of with Kirby, you gotta find if there's a good if there's a good way you can do it and have it make sense, then sure, I'm for it. But at the end of the day, it would be a stretch after he got that freaking TV crushed on his head. He got cut pretty deep too.
Yeah, he did, definitely. Like, again, feeling a little woozy here. But you got I'm not sure if you heard this. I think you I might have told you in the past, but the original script for the third one,
Yeah.
Stu was supposed to be the mastermind behind Ghostface.
Yeah, I did hear that, and I'm glad they didn't do that. It would have been weird. It would have been weird.
It would have been a lot better than Sydney's
Honestly,
brother.
yeah, you're right. I was just thinking the same thing. I think the brother thing was. If we could delete the third one, that would be fine. Like, it's got some good moments, but yeah, the third one, it was very far fetched, and that's what I want to avoid with the new one. Is I want to avoid, I want to avoid it being too far fetched and kind of bring it back to realism. I think.
Yeah, and just to be serious about it, absolutely. And I'm actually just thought about it as we were talking about Stu. I know Randy's dead, but is there anything? Is there like a callback we can do for him? Like, of course he can't come back to life, which I know a lot of people. Dang it, spoiler. Died in the second one, which a lot of people did not want that to happen, because we all can easily relate to him, probably the most out of any character in the Scream franchise. But is there anything that we can do to, like, at least like pay homage to his character?
That'd be tough because you've already done the little VHS thing they did in the third one, and the sister. I think that was his sister in the third one, right? Made an
It
appearance.
was.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe she could come back, but uh, without, yeah, you can't do a video again because he's aged since then. So, yeah, I think the only thing you could really do realistically is bring his sister back, and maybe she could be a part of it. But it would, again, it would have to make sense with the storyline why she's there. So I don't know. I don't. Unfortunately, I think at this point, with it being so much time between the second one where he died, now there's not much you can really do with it.
Yeah. I can see that. Like again, like I love Randy. That was easily the character I relate to the most. Again, of why I love Kirby, because Kirby kind of remind me
Yeah,
of
that was what they were going.
Randy,
Yeah, yeah,
but she's a girl and she's just awesome, just gorgeous to look at. No, but you know, but again, like Randy, again, probably was one of the most important characters of that whole Scream franchise. I'm not sure why they did kill him off. I guess they did just for the fact of the Drew Barrymore effect from the first one, just completely out of left field. You gotta create that oh shit factor, and that was definitely to me, and just for me, that was an oh shit factor in the second one.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I totally did not see that coming, and I hope we can have another moment like that. As much as I hated losing Randy, I think it would be pretty freaking awesome to have another moment as shocking as that one was.
Yeah, because the third one totally lacked of the oh shit moment. The fourth one,
They blew up that
again with
house.
Emma Roberts' character, that was an oh shit moment for me because I thought they were going to play her off as the new Cindy Prescott again, like passing the torch.
Yeah, that was good.
And
That was
with her turning out to be the killer, I thought that was just a great idea. That totally caught me off guard, which again, people be like, oh, I saw that coming a mile away. I'm like, well, good for you. I was just trying to like just
yeah, yeah, yeah.
focus on the story they were trying to tell. Then after watching it the second time, I'm like, you know what? Easily she's the killer. But
Yeah.
like, so
Yeah, dude, at the end of the day, I did like her character. It's a bummer she got freaking killed, but at the same time, at the time, it was a shock value thing, and or not shock value, but as much as it was just a nice twist. So I think, yeah, it was cool to have that little segment in there where she freaking, yeah, the whole twist at the end. I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah, exactly. And I just actually thought of a scenario or a question here. Ghostface, he's known for his knife. Is there like you would like for him to use like a different kind of weapon? Because I feel like that's one of the things in the Scream franchise is it does like some cool kills, but nothing like just legendary like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street were able and the Halloween were able to produce those iconic kills. Which I feel like Scream needs to try to go more towards that direction of having the iconic kill. And I think just that little knife doesn't really do it for a lot of people. So would you like to see kind of like what kind of awesome kill would you like to see?
Dude, so first off, he's in the past. I mean, they've used guns before and things like that. Kind of once the mask comes off, but dude, I think it would be cool to see him do something a little bit bigger, more grand. Like a freaking chainsaw or something like that. Like I know that's a little cliche, but the knife does get stale. That's the one freaking negative. The garage door kill in the first one was freaking awesome, man. I'd like to see some more stuff
Yeah.
like that. More taking advantage of the environment you're in. So something like that.
Yeah, and the fourth one they tried too hard in that bedroom kill scene. Remember that?
Oh yes, most
Yeah, I
definitely.
feel like they tried too hard to make that knife super effective. Which again, yes, it is effective, but I feel like that was just way too much of what they were trying to do with that scene.
Yeah, I would just like to see him use the environment more often. Like some of the best kills in the franchises are that. Like he throws CC out the window in the second one,
Yes.
and then the garage door obviously, and yeah, I would like to see that. Whatever kind of environment you can put him in. Usually it's within a house, so some kind of home tool, freaking sawzall, whatever you can get your hands on, man. Like
Hmm.
a freaking dumbbell or
Or a
whatever.
banana in Scary Movie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
That
something
scene
like
always
that.
made me laugh.
So anything but the knife, the knife is nice and classic, but Um, yeah, I think using the environment it'd be a pretty cool character trait to have. And I just kind of thought of an idea, but we'll get to that later. Just remind me. Don't let me leave without saying
Oh,
it.
about to get ready to right now, but I would feel like a cool, like I agree with you, like if the house setting's the main setting, so like kind of like just go into the kitchen, use some tools. I would actually, and I might be a sicko for even thinking of this, but what about a freaking cheese grater? Like okay, that might
What are
be
you gonna do?
silly.
Freaking shave the freaking face off or
Yeah,
what?
like I'm sure you can kill somebody like that, or like as they're cooking, to just pull off a freaking Michael Myers and Halloween 2 and just stick their hand in that boiling hot water. That can be something too.
You know, it might be cool to kind of turn it into the freaking action sequences, like with the way way action shot these days, like just freaking a full on brawl where you're freaking just,
Yeah,
maybe he loses the knife and they're fighting it out, they're duking it out, and he's freaking grabbing pans and whatever in the kitchen and freaking, yeah, that might be. I mean, it's not really horror per se, but it would be fun to watch. It's
oh
freaking,
man,
it
you just
would,
gave me $1 million idea.
yeah,
You ready? You know how Ghostface is always asking those questions on those iconic horror movies?
yeah.
What if, just like him being a super fan, what if he kills the new cast characters with those iconic weapons?
Dude, yes, that's actually a freaking bona fide idea right there,
So,
dude.
like, get like a machete as kill one and kind of like leave clues and all that.
Yes, that's actually pretty. That takes it back into being self-aware, and I think that's a phenomenal idea. That's the best idea yet. I think you kind of freaking. Oh yeah, my favorite's Jason. Here comes the freaking machete, dude, and you freaking chop the head off. Or yeah, mine's freaking. Oh man, mine's Freddy, and here he comes with the freaking glove. That would be cool. That would be super
Yeah.
cool.
Or
Texas
and again,
Chainsaw.
back to you saying the chainsaw, Leatherface, easy.
Now, what if they said my favorite character is the freaking leprechaun, dude? What would he use then?
I'm a leprechaun, me dear.
I'm a leprechaun. Um, Shoot, just stick a coin down his throat or something.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Or just a 4-leaf clover, just put it on top of the head. That's a calling mark.
Freaking lawnmower, dude. Then the second one. You could do
Oh
that.
gosh. But let's go to your idea because now you got me curious because when you have an idea, I'm always like tuning in.
Okay, so we kind of talked briefly, and this is just kind of the general idea of the movie. Um, we could do you what if we set this up as okay. So the movie starts. Courtney Cox dies immediately, first 15, 20 minutes, whatever. Freaking revenge flick, dude. You got freaking David Arquette. He's on a freaking rampage. Dude. He's motivated. He's jacked. He's like, God, man, I'm gonna catch this guy. They spend the whole movie kind of tracking this guy down. Of course, people are dying in the process. Nev comes back from out of town or wherever she's at, assuming it's back in Woodsboro. I know I said it'd be cool to take it out of Woodsboro again, but
And that would be her like kind of like like being concerned about Dewey. He's getting like way into this like personally instead of like with a clear mind.
yes, exactly. She comes back into town and she's like, let's go find this dude and they get together and the movie goes on. The new characters are dying. Whoever the what's her name? The freaking deputy dies because she was awful.
Judy.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
please kill her.
She dies. He's like, oh god dang, I got freaking another. My wife's dead now. Judy's dead now. Freaking, it's just freaking. It's amping up, dude. He's getting pissed. He's getting freaking agitated. They're on his tail the whole movie. It's kind of a cat and mouse thing where he's killing people and David Arquette and Nev's coming on. And at the end, you get freaking. There's a battle at the end, and of course it's not fleshed out yet, but they get freaking they catch him. They're with him. They're all in the same area. He's still got the mask on and whatnot. Freaking somehow I would like to have Nev die, like you said earlier. This was your idea. Nev dies, whether she's saving David Arquette or she's saving one of the new characters that we like or whatever. She freaking dies. And then the freaking killer gets away, and we never even find out who he is.
Ooh. That's saying that'll set up 5 or 6 and 7 too if they decide to go that route.
Yeah, he freaking gets away at the end, whether it's like
Because
maybe he gets shot or I mean that would kind of be a rip off of Halloween, but He freaking
Was that the boogeyman?
yes, exactly.
Or
He
I'm
gets
sorry, I
shot,
apologize.
or
But before the Halloween community gets on me, it was the boogeyman.
that's right, that's right. Um, and he gets away, and the movie ends. He's still on the loose, and freaking Arquette now losing his wife, his deputy, and freaking his best friend, freaking is Nev Campbell,
Yeah,
Sidney
which she's pretty
Prescott.
much been what like looking after her since the first one, always protecting her.
Exactly. It sets up now for freaking a freaking high octane freaking revenge driven freaking David Arquette. You could do the same with Nev if you wanted to keep her alive instead. But either way, we keep one of the characters alive. The killer's unknown going forward, and we just freaking we go into the next movie. It sets up a sequel.
Hmm. And do you know what I like most about that idea? Because like the first Scream, it was all about Sidney Prescott. The second Scream, I was just in my opinion, that was a Gale movie
Yeah,
in
I
my
would.
book.
Yes,
In my
yeah,
book, if in the third one, I can't even tell you what that movie was about because they were just
shit
all
show.
over the place with that. The fourth one is just kind of like Cindy coming back, like reestablishing her, like, hey, she's the main character, she's a star. But we've never really had a movie be just about Dewey, and the fifth
Exactly. Yeah.
one would be perfect Dewey movie because people like Dewey, and I feel like he should be like the star of the movie for sure because A, he was the first person cast in the movie, like the very first person, and then B, like of course you bring Sydney back and make her feel important, but instead of like Dewey helping her, she's helping him to try to
Yeah.
get his revenge. And I loved your idea because it's never been done in a Scream movie before. Let the killer win,
Let him win. Let him go unknown.
or
You
kill,
wait the
or
whole
kill,
movie.
or
You
kill
wait the
like one
whole.
of the two.
Yeah,
Like,
and you.
again with the two killers, like kill one of them, and you assume like, okay, that's that one, and then like, oh, the second one, the mastermind is behind it, and they're still alive.
Yeah, maybe they kill one, and then the second one kills Sydney, and then he gets away. You know what I mean? Like maybe they think they
Yeah,
have him caught red-handed. He gets killed. Another one comes in, kills Sydney, or maybe it's like an epilogue thing where everything's fine, like Friday the 13th. They kill the dude. Everything's fine and dandy. They're like, oh, woohoo, yeah, it's all good. And then you kind of go over, and Sydney's freaking dead or whatever. Like maybe he goes over to her house the next day, or yeah,
hmm,
again, this isn't fleshed out. This is me just talking off the top of my head. You find out the next day that the second killer has come in, freaking killed her, and you have no idea who it is. And the movie kind of just ends there. And David Arquette's the only one left standing, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to get my revenge." But this is going to go on for another movie. So I think there's, I mean, again, it would be nice to really think about it, but I think that's a nice little way to take it. It's unique. You've never had a movie where you don't know where the killer is at the end. So I think you wait the whole movie to see who it is, and then you don't get that. You have to wait for the next one. Or like I said, there's a second one, and you don't find out until after you think that it's gonna be in a happy ending, and then Nev's dead, and there's another killer on the loose.
yeah, sure. That would be a great ending for five, is for Nev Campbell to get got it, and bam, credits hit. And then
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
just leave with the fear like, what just happened? And then you gotta wait till the sixth one to figure out what happened to that led to that.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. I think that would be like, yeah, that would really make me want for another one to come out. And again, like I don't know which one I would like more, whether the killer goes completely unknown, there's one killer and he goes unknown, or you kill one of them and you get the happy ending vibe for just a minute, and then yeah, Nev, it could be an off-screen death, like you find her dead and she's freaking chopped up and stuff, or
I actually got one. Cindy's actually talking to Dewey, and they were talking about like the aftermath. And Dewey figures something it out, and then all you hear is noise going in the background of Sydney's phone, and then Dewey goes like, "Sydney, Sydney," and then the last shot would be the phone just sitting there,
oh
and
yeah,
then and you just sit there, you hear Dewey's voice go, "Sydney, Sydney," and then at that last shot, you see that phone, Cindy's phone, like just that closer camera view of that phone, blood spatter on the phone, end it with credits.
that would be pretty cool.
That would be the ultimate hook of what the hell just happened. Give me the next movie now.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. I like that. I think we're heading in the right direction there.
Yeah, exactly, dude. So, sure. Do you have any other thoughts of what you want like to have in a Scream 5? Because I know like we've hit a lot of big topics already. I just didn't know if there's a little one we missed or.
No, I think that's pretty much it, man. Like, I mean, obviously you got to find a way to bring it self-aware, and you got to bring the phones into it one way or another. It's probably you got to bring that current age technology up to the movie. So
Yeah,
they kind of did
practical
that.
effects.
Practical
Because
effects for
do
sure.
not do
Yes.
CGI in this damn movie because that's
No.
one of my major problems, which I want to cover in an episode on of like practical effects versus CGI effects.
Yeah.
Because like I am so heavy on the side of practical effects. They need to make a return to the horror genre in the worst way.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. But yeah, I mean, you bring the phones up, and it's going to be more texting than phone calls because nobody answers phones anymore. So,
Yeah.
hey, you got to bring that kind of in. But they did that in the fourth one. They know what they're doing. I imagine they'll figure something out with that. And
Yeah.
just you could bring, well, yeah, you could bring videos, text, pictures, things like. But yeah, that's all. That's all details.
Hmm.
This as far as the story goes, I think we hit everything, or at least I did that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, and I think with that, I think we again since I feel like we cover everything we can without like a trailer or like a little script or a plot. I think this would be a good place to end it, and we're easily going to revisit this topic once we get more information. Like
Absolutely.
I would say at least a trailer, and we'll do a trailer breakdown and a trailer reaction video for it. So with that, we appreciate you experiencing episode 1 with us. We are just so excited to give out more episodes. And if
Can't
you
wait.
want to follow us, you can like, comment, and subscribe to this page. So, and of course, you can ring the bell. And by ring the bell, meaning that once we upload a video, you would know instantly, so you can watch it immediately. But we also got a Facebook group, which would be Good Real Hunting movie channel. We got an Instagram page of Good Real Hunting movie channel, and we're going to be developing this as time goes by. We actually have a letterbox called Good Real Hunting, and we are that's where we'll share kind of like our rankings of particular movies. We'll make lists and we'll do like a quick review on it, so we can at least like if you want to compare our episode to our notes, you absolutely can. And we just again we any kind of support you want to give us, we really appreciate it. And again, we're not perfect, but we just at least we try, and we try to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. Would you think that'd be fair to say?
Yeah, I think so for sure. Hey, you're
Yeah.
not recording.
Yeah, I'm recording.
I'm kidding, dude. I'm kidding. I was trying to freak you out. No, yeah, like you said, man, do all that. We got some good things we're gonna do. I know this video is long, but it's the first one. We're really excited, and we just wanted to kind of have a full length conversation. But we're gonna have some shorter things in the mix, and it's gonna be a good time. We can't wait to keep going with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and cut off here. Again, thank you so much for coming along with episode 1. I'm the Brentman Stewart. That's the boss, Brad Heath, and we will see you next time.
Adios.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Hasta la vista, baby.
In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.